For the first time, we are hearing directly from the 19-year-old who survived a horrific attack in Georgia. His family calling some of the acts posted on social media torture. News Nation obtaining the exclusive audio message tonight and new information. The teen has been discharged from the hospital. He's now receiving care at an out-of-state treatment center. Well, it has been 12 days and still no arrests. He was hosed with water, bound in a chair, covered in spray paint, and then dropped off by teens at the hospital where he entered the ICU. Brett Buffington with our News Nation affiliate in Georgia has the message Trent is sending tonight.
Hey, everybody.
For the first time since we heard his story, we are hearing from Trent.
Thank you for all the wishes, support, and caring. I'm alive and doing well.
After days in this Georgia hospital, a visit that started on a ventilator, Trent has been discharged.
Just know it's going to be a long time for me to get over this through the trauma. But one day, hopefully within the next few months or so, I might be back.
This family today telling me Trent is supporting the Glynn County Police investigation of the attacks he went through, saying Trent is a kind and loving person who was taken advantage of. This photo was taken Saturday of Trent heading to an out-of-state care center as he continues to deal with the understandable emotional damage. Trent ended his short message with a strong promise.
But justice will be served.
Police in Glynn County continue their investigation. Now, 12 days later, no one has been arrested. Brett Buffington reporting for News Nation.
Yeah, and we thank Brett for that. I want to bring in former FBI Special Agent and News Nation Law and Justice contributor Jennifer Coffendorfer to talk more about this case. And Jennifer, it is such a tough story. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Natasha.
Jennifer, can you help us understand? I mean, 12 days out, as Brett was just saying, the community there, they're pointing to these images and video on social media. They are saying that this is all the evidence you need to move forward. And investigators say they have successfully identified all of the minors in the images. So why have no arrests been made?
Well, it's certainly very frustrating, especially in a case like this that is clearly caught on video where we can see what happened. And they are just trying to cross all their T's and dot their I's. They have sort of one shot at this apple like we all do when it comes to this kind of a case. And they want to make sure they get everyone involved and that they have all the charges lined out as to what role each person took.
How will the fact that the suspected attackers are all under 18 likely affect the outcome of this case?
Well, that unfortunately usually causes lesser charges and less time for these offenders. And that's really unfortunate because when you look at this, this is such a sadistic act. And people who are capable of committing crimes like this as juveniles are capable as adults.
That's a really important insight. And you know, when this was first reported, this was described as a couple of hazing incidents. Trent's father is giving more details. He says his son was covered in WD-40, vomit, paint, glue, egg yolks, and spray paint, that he needed stitches. Investigators say that Trent was also force-fed alcohol. You know, when he was dropped off at the hospital, his blood alcohol level was nearly 6 times the legal limit. He had to be placed on a ventilator. He couldn't breathe on his own. Does this sound like hazing to you? Does that adequately encapsulate this? And does the wording matter as this case goes forward?
No, hazing does not encapsulate this. This is clearly an assault. This is also possibly an attempted murder. I mean, from the standpoint of what they did to him caused him to be on a ventilator. He had 6 times the blood alcohol level, and this could have led to his death. In fact, if it would have led to his death, we'd be having that conversation right now. So I see more severe charges that could be charged. Whether they will be or not, you know, we will have to wait and see.
And we know the FBI is now involved in this case as well. We are also tracking police executing a search warrant for the house where the attack allegedly took place. Do you think the owner of that house could also face charges?
Well, I think the owner possibly could, depending on what they knew. Also, whoever provided the alcohol. These are underage individuals. How did they have this alcohol at their hands to use really as a weapon against this individual? So I think possibly individuals who aren't minors could be culpable.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.